Come and fly away with me. 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 Come and fly away.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, or wherever it happens to be for all of you lovely people out there. Today's not a normal video. I'm pissed. So let's jump in and see exactly why I'm pissed.
Hey guys, so I originally had a different video that I was gonna have go up today.
Yes, well, I've been working on a few videos in the past week that either have nothing to do with you or we talk about you very little, and yet here you are with that gross shirt about to spew onto all of us how we are somehow responsible for your happiness. Oh, did I interrupt? I'm sorry. Please continue.
I just feel like a lot is happening and it's super overwhelming. I don't know, like I'm only one person over here. And it's just like so much is being said, and I know legal terms love to be thrown around like slander, defamation. 9 times out of 10, people don't really know what they're talking about. But I feel like in the situations that have been happening recently, there is a lot of slander. There is a lot of defamation.
Honestly, I always find it so amazing when you try to rub your two brain cells together, Amby. And I should have mentioned earlier that if anyone thought I was going to approach this kindly or calmly, you are mistaken, and you will find out why soon enough. The speculation that has been going around, that's the word you're looking for, Amber. Speculation. The speculation is fueled by the fact that you are under some impression that you and your girlfriends are immune to the internet. Now, you have uploaded many videos crying and begging for people to be nice, but not only does that not work on YouTube, but you are never a nice person. So both on and off YouTube, no one is going to take the high road or take your word because you have bankrupted both. You know, there is a channel that is doing something on this as well. Jades Speculation Station. I'll throw her link down below. As for slander and defamation, you would have to prove that, Amby, and from where I'm standing, you can't. You cannot prove the rumors going around about your girlfriend, present tense very much enforced, did not do what people think she did. The fact of the matter is, she was in a relationship 3 months ago, she was on a feeder site, and her ex was on Dr. Oz, and this was all made public by them. The conclusions that people came to have very little to do with you or a want or need for views, because with you far removed, it would still be a story either way, if true. So, as much as you think that you're the center of the universe, you're not. And as much as you think that you have a leg to stand on legally, you can barely stand on the 2 you have now. But fine, slander. You mean like this?
So this is actually the final time I will talk about Becky. I know I have said that before, but I'm just going to be as honest and candid as I can. No, this is not my choice. I was gonna say I could care less, and I recently found out that it's I couldn't care less. Anyways, I couldn't care less if Becky spoke about me. She could speak about me in every single one of her videos, and I would not care. At all. At all. She doesn't want me speaking about her, which, fine, that's great. But I spent the last 5 years of my life with her, surrounded by her family, surrounded by her friends, surrounded by her energy, her circle. I followed her life. I was part of her life. And it's like, to have those 5 years be just taken from me, and I can't even share memories. I can't, it's like those 5 years are being erased from my life, and that's hard for me. But she doesn't want me talking about her. Fine, I won't. I don't care. I think it's silly. We were part of each other's lives for 5 years, but fine, I won't talk about her. It just sucks because it's like, I have so many things I want to say. So many things I want to say. You guys have no idea. But those 5 years, I have to erase them from the internet. can't speak about them any longer, and I am just going to shove my pride away. I'm going to shove my thoughts and my feelings away, and my stories and experiences and things that I would like to share. I know a lot of people don't understand why I would want to, and that's fine. You guys don't really have to understand that, but just out of respect for her, like, she's not forcing me to do shit. Like, no one can force me to do anything, but out of respect, because I'm not this cold-hearted person that people think I am, I will not be speaking about her anymore. I will say the whole proposal thing, I have had a lot of people say that I'm lying about it, which I'm not. I'm not lying. Why would I lie about something where the literal person could come online and be like, Amberlynn's lying? Like, come on now. I'm not gonna lie about Becky at all.
Or this.
Did Destiny ever break up with you before the official breakup? Yes, she did. So she broke up with me, as you guys remember, like, the official breakup was January. She actually broke up with me a couple months before that in November. The breakup lasted maybe 24 hours. It was so random because, like, everything was totally fine. And then all of a sudden, like, she just broke up with me. And this was actually, I think I had quit work by then. I don't remember when I quit work, but I remember that I was at home and I was just, like, devastated because she ended up going to work and I just felt like lost. Like, I lost my favorite person. I lost my best friend. What am I going to do with my life? Well, she ended up coming home late and I was so confused. And I was like, oh my God, where is she? Like, I was worried. I was like, oh my God, like, is she going to come home? She came home with a balloon, an iPod, flowers, and a card. And she wanted me back again. So it's like, now that I am thinking back about this, she broke up with me after Dana stopped talking to her. And it's like, now that, like, everything is so, like, out in the open and I'm seeing things more, like, crystal clear and I'm, like, putting all the pieces together, I feel like Destiny, because she was emotionally cheating on me, as you guys know, I truly feel like it kind of feels like, I'm kind of glad she did this because I'm able to, like, heal my own type of way, like, talking about this. So,
Or how about the most famous example of ruining somebody's life? This.
Hey you guys, so I wanted to make a video about something that I haven't really talked about really. I'm sorry if this video is, like, all over the place. I'm not gonna edit it or anything because I can't. My editing system is just not working. So I was recently talking to someone who had no idea that I was in an abusive relationship before, and they told me how girls who stay in abusive relationships are just lazy and that they like to be abused. Now, I from firsthand witnessed my dad abusing my mother my whole childhood. There were knives involved, hair pulling to the point of wads of hair would just come out in his hands. I witnessed my mom having a broken nose, broken teeth, bruises upon bruises, and there has also been a few broken bones involved, and that was all coming from my father. I knew it wasn't right as a little girl. I tried my hardest to defend my mother towards him. It was impossible. He's a big guy, really strong. He's like 6'7", and I'm just this little girl throwing fists at my father's back trying to get him to stop, and I couldn't. I told myself I will never be with someone who lays a hand on me. I always questioned why my mom stayed with him. Like, what was the point? And she'd always say, because I love him. And I would be like, why do you love someone that, you know, abuses you? So, my first true committed relationship, I've had a lot of, like, random relationships, like don't even consider them though, but like my first like live-in relationship was with a girl named Cassidy. I feel very strongly about this, and I feel like it's okay for me to say her name because she's transgender now, so she's not Cassidy no longer. So I'm able to say her name because she's a once was person. Like, Cassidy is no longer here anymore, obviously. I'm not gonna say his new name because we're talking about her. Transgender talk is too confusing, so we're just gonna leave it as that. So I still remember the first time she ever got physical. We had a laundry room in the apartment complex we were living in, and we were walking to the laundry room, and I remember back then I would do our laundry for us. I didn't really like people touching my laundry. I still really don't, but I let Destiny do it because I trust her. But I had this weird thing with like people touching my laundry, whatever. So she was helping me carry, I guess, laundry to the laundry room. I don't remember really what we were arguing about, but I know it must have been something really stupid, probably about the laundry, blah blah blah. And I remember her dropping what was in her hands, and she took me by the throat and she started yelling at me. I was like, what? And I think at the time, what shocked me the most was the fact that she was doing it in such a public place. Like, there was nobody around that I remember. And like, I was like crying. Like, she literally was having me by the throat, just like screaming at me. And she never really did that again. She would randomly like pinch me if I made her really mad. When it came to intimacy, I want to say about a little bit after like 2 years of being together, it started to dwindle. It was definitely my fault. This is when things got really bad. I don't even know how to share this, but I'm gonna have to. Destiny knows all about this, by the way. Like, it's something like I really needed to let her know about me. Okay, so Cassidy was very sexually strived. Like, is that even a thing? I don't know. She really thought I was attractive. She really was sexually attracted to me, and she always wanted to like have sex. And I stopped feeling that for her. Like, I didn't tell her that. I would just like make up things like, oh, I don't feel good, or oh, I'm on my period, like, even though I wasn't. And just little things like that. And it made her fucking pissed. When you say no to someone, whether you've been with them for like a month or whether you've been with them for like 6 years, if you say no to a sexual act, your partner should accept that. That is where I firmly stand. But she didn't. And she would literally sit there and beg me. At first it was like cute little begs, like, oh, come on, baby, whatever. But then as time gradually went on, it became, you're gonna fucking touch me whether you like it or not. And I was like, you can't force me. And little did I know she can. That's when she started punching me a lot. She would aim for my belly. I don't think she ever actually hit me in the face.
So do us all a favor, Ambi. Stay out of the legal jargon because you do not know what you're talking about, and get to the point.
Like, there's a difference between like gossiping versus like downright, straight up defamation, lies, completely making up stories that aren't true at all. I told myself I would never talk about this to protect myself because it is scary, because there's a lot that goes in it. But like, if I can somehow prove that I'm not lying, then I'm going to do that.
But how is this making sure that people know you're not lying? How could it come back on you in any way unless either you were lying or you were the one looking bad in this situation? What you're saying makes absolutely no sense. It's human nature to defend ourselves. It's human nature to have fight or flight. And after years of watching you, you are not a flight kind of person, because you always have to be right and you always have to be on top. But let's hear her out, shall we? Maybe her cold sore covered mouth will tell the truth.
I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to stand here and do this. Like, I honestly feel pathetic. I feel triggered. I feel just like YouTube is ruining my life, like truly ruining my life. And I have gone through a lot with YouTube. I've gone through a fucking lot. I have had some serious high highs and I've had some serious low lows.
If you feel all those things, then why are you doing this? I noticed that you have one of your favorite words in there, and that is triggered. But why are you standing there in front of the gods and all of us in a kissy lip undershirt that makes you look, frankly, like you're 16 years old, about to spill, well, whatever it is you're about to spill, when it is bothering you so much? You could sit here and tell us and everyone that the high highs and the low lows was our fault, which is where I think this is going, but in reality, this is all on you. You have built a community that does not believe you breathe even though we actively watch you do it. You have ensured that none of us can take your word, and the worst part is, you know we can't. So why are you here trying to do this exactly?
But something about everything that's been happening, it has hit different. It has affected me differently than anything else ever has. And seeing what a large chunk of whatever this community is doing, seeing what you guys are doing, has made me just not want to do YouTube anymore.
Oh, well, in that case, I have an entire phone and Discord full of friends to notify that we can have that party. The party where you are leaving YouTube and hopefully will not be coming back. Trust when I say that there are very few that rely solely on you for their revenue, and there are fewer still that are actually subbed to you. The reason I say that is because I have been screaming at the sky that you have bought subs, and this is speculation, but your social blade and things do not lie. So, I don't know who you were trying to paint yourself as the victim to. The bots that you're subbed to? Hater Nation, or the reaction channels? Because one already has your money, the other was doing what they do because you're thin-skinned and reply to everything, and the last have been watching you for so long, they are simply shocked that you still don't get that your word and evidence mean absolutely nothing. Gotta remember, Amber, some of us remember the days when you tried to manipulate reaction channels, and I hate to tell ya, those days are gone.
And that scares me because that means I'm about to drastically change my life if I choose to take a step back. I really don't want to stand here and cry and be whiny. I don't want to do any of that because I do take partial credit into all of this.
Partial credit? Ambi, you need to take all responsibility is the word I think you were looking for. You created your channel, the community, and how people respond to it. There is no one else to blame but you.
Years ago, I became a fucking troll. A huge troll. I almost asked for the negativity, especially like 2019, 2018, 2017. I almost asked for it. Any attention was good attention for me. Even if it was bad, even if it made me feel like shit.
Troll and liar are not synonyms. You cannot interchange them so everything will make sense. You cannot be called out for something that you have said and not want to address it, or remember the lie you told, or realize how stupid it was, and then call yourself a troll. That's not how it works. If you were a troll, you would have started in 2013, because that is when you started to lie and deceive your audience. Troll, liar, two different things, but continue.
As someone who's gonna be 34 years old, I regret that. I regret that side of me. But we do shit in our 20s that we regret. Unfortunately, it's like this is just staying with me. As much as I grow up, as much as I try to change, whether that just be in my personal life or on YouTube, you guys won't change with me.
But these are not the changes that you wanted to make. These were fucking changes that you were forced to make because the loved ones around you and the people that watch you no longer bought what you were trying to sell and could see right through you in an instant with quote unquote the old you. Now, that being said, I promise you, the people that have been watching you have evolved. We no longer take your word at face value. We no longer believe you when you say something has happened. And we for sure do not take your supposed evidence only when you hand it to us, because once you have lied to anyone, viewer, family, lover, friend, as much as you have lied to us, we do not believe you. You have attempted to manipulate a vast majority of people, and they've seen through you. So we have changed. You are just wishing that we had changed into someone that still believed and rallied for you, which I'm sorry to say will likely never happen again.
You guys aren't changing with me, and I'm just like stuck in this weird girl world, like Amberverse, negative, just like horrible space. And I want to break up with it. I don't want to be a part of it anymore, and I just don't know what to do.
Love the pause frame there that you did. Now, you know exactly what to do. You know exactly what is needed, because in reality, we do not sit and script videos, watch your videos, read comments, and the people on the farms do not do what they do without reason. Don't get me wrong, there are channels and farmers that are just doing this to uncover things or to get views. But a lot of them have a reason, and a lot of that is because you're a liar. You are a liar, and no one can trust you. Not your fans, not Hater Nation, and certainly not the reaction channels or anyone close to you. You're a liar, abuser, and all-around horrible person. So you know what you need to do. We are not looking at you as someone that is entertaining, as someone that should be looked up to, but someone that is to be observed, watched for every motion. Even stupid jump cuts where you think you're hiding something, but we all know that you are hiding something. You're cutting something out and people can see that you are. And we watch these things because you have always lied and always manipulated. And you have always painted it as someone else's fault. What you need to do, and you know that if you would do it, all of this would stop, is leave YouTube. You've always hinted at it, at every drama or anything, but you never do. You know why? Because you want these views. You are averaging more than about 40K than you normally do. So the fact that you are hitting this so hard is not surprising to me at all. You aren't here to defend yourself. You're here for the views. But I digress. Continue, Amby.
Stepping away from any sort of job is hard, and it takes time and thought, and you need to figure out, like, okay, so if I step away, what are my next steps? I have to figure that out. I need to do it in private, but that's not what this is about.
All I hear is another version of you leaving YouTube but not leaving YouTube, where you're gonna tease it and get people to listen, but you won't actually leave. The reason I know you won't is because that would require you to reevaluate your existence, get a life, and a real job that does not involve you recording yourself for 15 minutes a day, and I am being extremely generous with those numbers, piecing it all together and then getting paid for it. And let's face it, you would never survive in those jobs. You barely survived the one that you kept at the old folks' home. And people started to report you because of inappropriate behavior.
Oh, this is the email of one of my subscribers trying to get me fired. I need to share that in a vlog. I'm keeping that close to heart. Close to my heart. Because that's hood rap.
And then the other one you quit because they would not let you hide in the bathroom. You do need to think long and hard about this. Not because I think you should stay, God no, but because you need to leave YouTube and get a life that does not involve the haters you hate so much. You know, the ones that you're currently purposely feeding for views right now? But I'm getting ahead of myself. Continue.
I'm scared. I'm scared to talk about this. I am. So many of you thought Valentine was fake. That was the biggest thing. Valentine isn't real. Valentine isn't real. And I accepted it for what it was. I was like, they don't want to believe me, that's fine.
And yet, here you are. And the thing is, once the Tommy thing dropped, I can think of one that I watched, though I'm sure there are more that mention this. And that's Snowflake. If you haven't watched that video, I'll put it in the description down below. So this video is not to dispel anything. This video is to speak to Snowflake without saying his name. I see. You know that he is a grown man that does not care what you have to say, right? Just like the rest of us, he sees you are a liar. You will say and do anything to maintain an image around you, and that you think it's working. So I'm sure whatever I'm about to hear is just a very messy way to cover up what he said and try to disprove it. Okay then.
I'm actively having so much fucking anxiety for what I'm about to say. Like, whoo. Valentine's name is Erica, and Erica had a wife. I'm about to reveal screenshots that I could find because this is the only way that I'm gonna prove it. Here is me not making time for my friends because I am literally always giving every single part of me to Erica. You guys know I struggle with BPD. So one of those things is when I get into a relationship, my partner literally consumes me.
Hold the fuck on. I'm going to interrupt you and back the fuck up. No, you don't get to do that. You do not get to do that. As someone with BPD, you do not get to sit here and spread absolute and total bullshit about the disorder in order to cover your ass, lies, and manipulation. Do you know what people normally do when they hear I have BPD? They avoid me. And do you know why? It's because of people like fucking you, who either have it or do not. And my money is on do not for various reasons I will explore when I get to BPD in my deep dives. Painting us as these unregulated, attachment-hungry, abusive, manipulative psychos. People with untreated BPD show many signs in a relationship, and in my experience, none of them are giving up everything to be with them all the time. Now, them fluctuating between wanting to be around the person and needing isolation, lying, and a fear of abandonment is completely on course. But what you are describing is not BPD. This is not the first time you have done this.
And I want to blame it on my BPD because, as you guys know, I was diagnosed borderline personality disorder. Like, I want to blame it on that. But I think also just like, I don't know, sometimes it's hard to like separate your true self with, is this just like my mental illness?
The fact of the matter is either you have it or you don't. If you do have it and it is untreated, which, as I have said before, is not a good thing and can cause some horrible issues, even worse than what you have if you're overdiagnosed from Dr. Lynn Reid are to be believed, or you don't and you are using a serious mental illness as a get out of jail free card. Again,
everyone struggles differently. Everyone heals from heartbreak differently. I have borderline personality disorder, and my ex was my absolute most favorite person in the whole world. And when you have a favorite person, especially when you have BPD, they become your literal everything. And it's like, I'm aware of that. Like, I'm able to be so aware. I am so freaking aware.
and again.
So the last question is, do you have a problem with jealousy? So I'm not really a jealous person. I don't get jealous of other people's money or other people's looks or other people's this or that. What I do get jealous about though is like stuff in relationships. Like when I'm in a relationship, like I am a jealous girlfriend. I don't know if that's like part of like an insecurity of mine or if that's like BPD. I don't know what it is, but I do get kind of jealous, pretty jealous.
And again.
Bad days and good days, because that's like a BPD way of thinking, because everything is like either all good or all bad. To try to find the gray area, and by doing that, rate your days out of 10 instead.
Which, if it is the latter, which I believe it is, makes you an awful human. But continue down this train of thought with these text messages. But if we want to do text messages as evidence, it's so weird. It's so weird, guys. Because on June 23rd at exactly 1:27 p.m., Amber texted me too. She admitted to not only lying, but also that reaction channels are the only thing that's keeping her relevant. If you believe that these are not real, all you have is my word to go off of. Seems fair, right? Look, Amber, you can show us all these texts all you want. I think you are dumb, but in the sense of manipulation, you are a genius. It takes one Google search, clicking on 1 second link, and then $1 to create a text message with dates, times, and boom, you have receipts or anything and everything you want. So sell that shit somewhere else, perhaps to Erica, because I ain't buying it.
Whether they try to or not. Do you guys remember that night when my mom stayed the night with me and we colored like children and people were like, oh my God, they're such children. Yeah, that was when I was breaking up with Erica. Here's my friend Alexis just being Alexis. And to top it all off, here's a screenshot of me telling Alexis that Erica's wife called me while I was at a birthday party. Remember that birthday party I went to when I was outside? It was super hot. It was at a park. It was that day.
I am going to say this. If Erica was real, if you managed to get everybody in order and believe that, then you also knew she was married, which makes you a shit human being still. These aren't helping you the way that you think. But carry on.
You guys went from believing Valentine was fake to them believing Valentine was my most recent ex, all for entertainment while actively ruining people's lives. Valentine was real. I have never lied. So many times people be like, why don't you ever talk about her? Like, why don't you ever show her? Why don't we ever hear? Because of this.
No. You see, wifey never wanted to be on camera, but your first 3 girlfriends, you threw on camera regardless of how they felt about it or what they wanted because it was about you and your views. Then wifey came along and let's face it, this girl was just here for a bag and then dipped out faster than you can scarf down an entire rotisserie chicken. And then the next one, this Valentine, likely told you or you decided that because she's married, there wasn't going to be any information. And that is if she's real, which I'm not convinced she was. I'm more convinced by Snowflake, and that's because of the receipts. I know that everyone knows I'm friends with Snowflake and we talk, but that does not mean I would follow him or anyone blindly into this. He legitimately did the work, went back and traced everything back to this moment, and it makes sense, while yours makes absolutely none.
Amberlynn, why are your videos so boring? Like, why aren't people in your videos? Because of this. Amberlynn, why don't you show up at your job more? Why don't you put more effort into your videos? Because of this. Amberlynn, why do you like have an attitude towards reaction channels and to your audience? Because of this.
Ah, yes, and here comes Smuglin, entering the chat faster than someone that thinks they're right in a Discord war. No, darling, it is not because of this. You are low effort and extremely low standards because that is who you are. You don't care about your community enough to put any effort in. If you did, then you would keep going no matter the issues that you're going through. But it is easier for you to sit back and do next to nothing and get paid for it. You're holding this excuse as a shield, but you don't realize that it's made of glass and can easily break. The fact of the matter is that you do not put in effort because of you. It has nothing to do with us. So continue to be smug and think whatever you'd like, but everybody can see it as clearly as they can see that those horizontal stripes just aren't your thing.
Still, through it all, I have been able to manage a positive outlook on life, whether you guys see that or not. I try my hardest in my real life to be happy and bubbly and positive, but I feel like I'm losing sight of that person, like the person that I tried so hard to be, especially once I moved to Oklahoma and moved in by myself. Like, I felt myself changing and being better and improving in multiple different ways, and now I just feel myself backtracking, and that scares me, and I don't want to be in that position.
Well, then don't be. I'm not sure who you're crying to, but your fake tears mean nothing to us. Look, you as a person never changed. You have always been the same manipulative, evil human you've always been. From animal abuse to domestic abuse, nothing has changed at all other than the fact that you think you are hiding it. If you had turned things around, this would not be happening because you would have not been trying to actively manipulate people into viewing you as what you want them to view you as. You can say that you just don't show it with us, but you have a massive amount of TikToks and Instagram posts that prove you have not changed one single bit. And you just want people to believe you have. And once again, darling, I'm not buying it, and nor is anyone else.
It's just like everyone in this situation is fucking hurting and feeling the gravity of it, while hundreds of people get to just sit back and watch it as if it's entertainment. These are real lives being messed with. Real lives. I can't sit back and let it happen and watch it happen. I can't support it. I can't condone it. Never would.
But you have. You have been active in the attempted downfall of most of your exes. Remember?
Is Destiny keeps saying how she wasn't around for my cancer symptoms. And I just want to say that during that time, that is actually when Destiny and I were closest in like a friendship ways, when we would see each other the most. You can go back and look at that in vlogs. I actually, this is the phone that I have that I use every single day, but I have an old phone that I plugged in last night, And I was like, I need to go back and look at text because I swear I'm not crazy. Yeah. So Destiny's lying about that.
Or I'll go back again to this one.
She would punch me on my arms, and she would continuously do it until I agreed to make love to her or have sex, whatever you want to consider it. So not only was I being physically abused, but I was pretty much being like, that is what I consider it, because I continuously would say no to her. It was such like a bad mixture of everything. And this would go on. This would happen probably weekly. God, here are the tears. I was trying to be strong for this video. A lot of people would ask, why didn't I hit her back? Why didn't I leave her in that, in that stance? I loved her. At the time, I was confused. I didn't love her like as a girlfriend. I just loved her as a person. She was that first true relationship I was in, and we had such amazing times that I just felt like maybe one day she'll stop being like this. Maybe one day she'll stop forcing me to have sex with her. One day she'll stop hitting me. And as many times as I felt like, okay, maybe things will change, it just kept getting worse and worse after that moment.
See, you not only condoned it, but you actively took part in it. The only difference is your attachment to these people were gone, and you felt as if you could use them for content. These were real lives, and that never stopped you from showing Libby inappropriately, showing children, dancing on the way to a little girl's grave. Those were all real lives too, and somehow we're meant to feel bad for you now when you have taken part in all of this? No, I don't think so. So I understand your need to be up on the fucking high horse, but I suggest you be careful because the fall from it can cause a lot more than a dangling ankle.
It's like vlogging just, I don't know, I just feel so disconnected.
What? It makes me giggle.
And I know a lot of you don't either. Like, I'm getting so many messages on Instagram every single day of people that are literal, even haters, that are like, this isn't right. Like, what you're going through is not okay.
So what level of lie is this? Is this the I'm on a diet lie, or is this the nurse risking her career to call you beautiful after helping you with a mammogram kind of lie? Because let me tell you, I believe that the absolute fraction of your subs that are real people and are there because they like you maybe did message, but everyone else did not. Stop trying to put people on your side that aren't there. No one is rallying in your corner, and that is why you're doing this. You are backed into a corner and you know it. But I keep interrupting. Carry on.
Something I have very strongly learned, and I have known from the beginning, reaction channels don't care about me, neither do the haters. All they care about, how many views they can get, how much money they can make. And the only way they can do that is by disliking every single thing that I do, nitpicking every single thing that I do, creating drama and fake stories around every single part of my life, and doing it consistently.
I hate to be the one to tell you this, Amber, but a lot of the bigger channels barely talk about you anymore. You are so irrelevant in girl world that if this had not had happened, then you would still be a passing fancy, glanced at and expressing how boring you are. Because the big guys in this realm, Jordy, Alex, Zachary, Snowflake, Karina, and even the small ones like me have started to recenter their content around others. Do you know why? Because you were not views before this. Let's face it, YouTubers do rely on views. Of course they do. But you were not raking it in. You were not giving anyone any reason to react to what you posted. The reaction channels do not care about you as a human. Let's be real. A lot of us have watched you for ages and know exactly what you are, and it is very hard to care about a monster. But even I don't want you to die. That is where the supposed concern came in, was the fact that it looked like you were going on a road to death. But put that aside, the haters did care. They became concerned and reached out because they were I have never seen Hater Nation react so quickly to something since I have been following you, both as an Am baby at the beginning and after I started to really dislike you. Yet this is how they get repaid, being called clout chasers, viewer hungry, and everything else. So you're going to end up getting exactly what you're asking for, and that is even the haters leaving you alone. And let me tell you, girly pop, that high horse can get pretty fucking cold and lonely.
And that consistently has been wearing at me for years and years and years. And this is finally the straw that broke the camel's back. And I'm personally hurt, and I'm lost, and I'm confused, and I don't know what to do from here on out.
Everyone, what is the first rule of the internet? Don't feed the trolls. Number 2, don't piss off the farms. You have consistently done things for years and years and years, and you think for a single moment that this hurt you? You hurt yourself. A lolcow is someone that can be milked for content, someone that has thin skin that will react when poked at, and you have always done it. Always come up with lies to cover up anything that was found, making up things to make yourself seem more interesting. All of it. So, if it has been hurting you oh so badly, why are you still here? You've done it to yourself.
I struggle with BPD. So like everything that I'm feeling is normal, and I know that in my rational side, but like I'm feeling it at a magnitude that like normal people don't feel.
Shut the fuck up. I love that you Google searched mental illnesses that fit your narrative and all, but shut the fuck up with all due disrespect. While yes, untreated BPD can make emotions more deep and harder to manage because of the emotional sector in our brains just being messed up, that is not what's going on here. In order for that to come into play, you would have to have actual emotions, true emotions, and I have yet to see that from you in a long time. What's going on is you're throwing a fit because you can't literally have your cake and eat it too, just like you want. You cannot lie about sponsorships, relationships, abuse, neglect, or your past because you have made sure that we all know of it. You are trying to use your supposed mental illness as a safeguard for behavior and to get people to back off. And the fact that you're using one that I have makes me even more pissed off. But it's not gonna work. Because it is disingenuous bullshit. And we can all fucking see it. So shut the fuck up.
I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I just know that whatever I say, like it just feels like there's a large amount of people that are just deaf to my words. But if I can prove that Valentine isn't someone that you guys think it is, there's your proof.
That wasn't proof. And I proved it by creating my own fake text. It costed me 5 minutes and $1. We do not listen to you because no one likes being lied to. No one enjoys someone looking at them either in a video or real life and lying to them, and that is all you did. Honestly, if she really wanted everything to stop, she would stop posting, but that would not get her views. These last few days, she has went up almost 40K. And if Tommy meant so much to her, then she would simply leave YouTube and social media and have a private life. But like classic Amber, she cannot let anything go without having something to say or trying to prove someone wrong. Now, I know there are certain channels that don't want Amber to go anywhere because she has become their entire content. But let's be real. We are all here merely as flies on the wall, waiting for the shit to stop smelling at this point. Amber does not care about defamation or anything simply because why the hell would she? She has done it a lot and will continue to do it because that is what she does. But this time she is backed into a corner. Either she admits that she knew Tommy was a feeder or she admits that she was lied to. And either way, she comes out of this covered in shit. There was a third option that has passed and could have been a turning point, and that was her coming out and saying, look, I didn't know. Thank you guys for trying to protect me, and I have broken up with this person because that was dangerous. But that ship has long sailed, and now she is faced with another, which is continue fighting with people on YouTube, get off YouTube, or start to pretend as nothing has happened. Other than that, she has nothing. She can't prove that Tommy isn't this person because she is. There are videos, pictures, and other things that prove it all. She can't say that Tommy has changed because it's only been 3 months since the love of her life died, and here she is with another morbidly obese girl with the idea of giving her 4 brookies playing in her mind. She cannot move out of this corner, and that is what we're seeing here. Amber is backed into a corner, and she has begun to swing wildly in order to try and defend herself. And in the process, she has only continued to hurt herself more and more. So until she can calm down, take a breath, none of this will calm down. She is just giving more and more content and more ability for people to comment on her. And as she's swinging wildly, she is hitting herself more than she's hitting anybody else. I will say this, stop using BPD as a scapegoat. It is a real mental illness that already gets shade a lot, and many people, including myself, suffer from it. You are not the only one, and none of us appreciate you making people with it look even more unstable and even more evil than people already think we are. The only advice that I can give is that if Amber wants to swing on reaction channels, let alone one of the biggest, I would strongly suggest you come at it with more than some fake text messages and learn your legalese, Amby, because you are fucking embarrassing. God, what a long video. If you take meds, don't forget to take your meds. If you don't take meds, go outside, touch some grass, drink some water, and as always, have the day that you deserve. I need a drink. Bye, guys.